A new beginning. Peter was 35 years old and had lived in the city his whole life. He grew up in a small apartment with his parents and two brothers. As a child, he liked the city. He loved the noise, the sounds, and the car lights. But now, many years later, the city felt gray and boring. Peter had an office job. He had worked there for more than 10 years. Every day was the same. He woke up at 7 o'clock, took a quick shower, and went to work by bus. On the bus, he usually looked out the window. He saw other people going to work too. No one looked happy. At work, he greeted his colleagues, sat at his computer, and worked on stacks of documents. At lunchtime, he went to the cafeteria, ate a sandwich, and drank a cup of coffee. Then he worked until 5 o'clock. At home, he ate a quick dinner, watched some TV, and went to bed. Every day felt the same, like he was stuck in a circle. One day, in October, something changed. It was a rainy Monday. Peter sat at his desk and looked out the window. The sky was dark gray, and big raindrops fell on the glass. He suddenly felt very tired. Not just tired from the day, but tired of everything. Do I really want to do this for the rest of my life? He asked himself. He had thought this before, but this time it felt different. This time, he felt like he needed to change something. That evening, sitting on the couch at home, he picked up his phone. He called his Uncle Keys. "Hello, Uncle Keys. How are you?" "I'm good, Peter," said his uncle. "And you?" Peter hesitated. "I want to do something different with my life. Can I live in your little house in the countryside for a while?" His uncle was silent for a moment. "Of course, you can," he finally said. "But are you sure? The house is old, and there's a lot of work to do." "I want to do something," Peter said. "Something with my hands. I don't want to sit behind a computer anymore." 2 weeks later, Peter got into his old car. He packed his bags, clothes, a few books, and some tools. He drove for hours in the rain, away from the city. When he arrived at the little house, it was already dark. Using a flashlight, he looked inside. The house was small, with wooden walls and a fireplace. There was dust on the furniture, and the windows were dirty. But Peter felt excited. The next morning, he started working right away. He cleaned the floor, removed cobwebs, and cleared old leaves from the garden. The work was hard, but he felt good. He was using his hands, and for the first time in years, he didn't feel stressed. Every evening, Peter went for a walk. The countryside was quiet and beautiful. He heard birds singing and saw deer in the fields. Sometimes, he sat by the stream and listened to the flowing water. Time felt slower. After a few weeks, a woman came by. She was carrying a basket of apples and smiled kindly. "Hello," she said. "I'm Anna. I live nearby. You're new here, right?" "Yes," said Peter. "I'm Peter. I'm fixing up this old house." Anna laughed. "That's a lot of work. But if you need help, let me know." The days became shorter and colder. Peter worked on the roof, painted the walls, and made a wooden bench for the garden. He started to feel at home. Sometimes Anna brought him soup or bread. They talked a lot. Anna told him about her farm and her apples. Peter told her about his life in the city. He noticed he liked being around Anna. One cold evening, Anna invited Peter for dinner. Her kitchen was warm and smelled like fresh bread. They ate together and laughed about stories from their childhood. Peter felt happy. Winter came quickly. Peter had made the house warm with a new wood stove. Outside, the snow covered everything, and the world was quiet. On Christmas Eve, Anna invited him to celebrate with her family. They sang songs, ate a big dinner, and played games. Peter hadn't had a real Christmas in years, and it felt like coming home. In January, Peter started thinking about his future. Should he go back to the city? He didn't know. He loved the peace of the countryside and his new friendship with Anna. One day, Anna asked him to help on her farm. He learned how to pick apples, make cider, and take care of the animals. Peter found out he liked this kind of work. "Why don't you start your own project here?" Anna asked one day. Peter thought about it. He decided to open a small shop where he made wooden furniture. He worked hard on his first table and sold it to a neighbor. It was a success. Peter's life had completely changed. He now lived in the countryside, worked with his hands, and felt free for the first time. He hadn't just found a new place to live. He had found a new part of himself.